Hey everyone, welcome to the pre-prep quiz. This is pre-prep quiz number 5. It's Wednesday, the 20th of May, so you're very welcome. This time the quiz is in 3 sections and the total mark is 15. I think it's 6 the first section, 5 the second section, and 4 the third section. And I think if you're good at maths, that does add up to 15. So remember, you can write your answers down, you can remember your answers, or you can shout them out if you want to. I will give some clues if I think the question's quite hard, but I'll tell you that I'm going to give you a clue. So if you don't want to hear it, you can block your ears up at that point. So let's go for the first set of questions. And like last week, these are photographs of a small part of a living creature, whether it's a reptile, bird, fish, mammal, or some other bizarre living organism, and you have to work out what it is. So here's the first one. Okay, so what is that one? You might have to look quite closely because there's 2 or 3 things that could be. So it's quite a tricky one to start with. That's the first one. Second one. And if you look closely, I think that's the whole of that one. It's not just a part, it's all of it, but it's a funny camera angle. So what is that? The third, what is that one? It's an unusual angle, but there's probably enough there not to need a clue. So what is that creature? I don't think that one's a bird. What is that? Not a particularly good looking thing. Sometimes they spit as well, I think. So what is that one? What is that? Again, an unusual angle. I'm sure you've all seen these. Maybe not up close. But what's that one? And the final one in this section. What is that? Now that's quite scary. You have got things like this around your house. It's a bit worrying, isn't it? But they're very useful creatures. They do a good job for us. So what is that? And that's the end of the first section. So that's 6 questions, 6 living creatures. So now we're coming up to close-ups again, but these are everyday objects. So you have to work out what these are. And again, I might give you clues, but I'll tell you what the clue. I'm going to give you a clue before I start, so you don't have to listen if you don't want to. That's the first one. I won't give you a clue with that. I'm sure you can work that one out. What is that? What is that, or what are they? Now that might be quite tricky. So I'm going to count to 5, then I'll give you a clue. So if you don't want to listen, remember, find some way of blocking your ears up. So the clue is you use them a lot in school. Okay, you use them a lot in school. That's the next one. Can I give you a clue for that one as well? So in a couple of seconds' time, the clue is you probably use these most nights and most mornings. And the last one there, now I'm not going to give you a clue for that one. Okay, so this is the last question in this section. So we come on to the final section now, and we're working our way through the alphabet. So all the answers here are objects, creatures, or whatever, beginning with the letter S. Okay, and I think these are okay for you. That's the first one. Looking quite scary. If you know the sort, well done. But we'll say with that creature. What is that one? Or what is that? Not that one. That was the, I'm sure you don't need a clue there, but it relates to one of the challenges. I think that a lot of you have been quite successful. Mine's a disaster at the moment. And it's not the baby, but what's the bird? What sort of bird is that? And this, in tradition, they're supposed to be the birds that deliver babies down chimneys. Okay, so I don't think that's true. So that's the end of the quiz. So I'm going to go through the answers now. So if you want to pause, hit the pause button here. And I'm going to go straight on with the answers. In the first section were the living creatures. First one was a bee. Now, if you got a wasp or you got a hornet, you can have half a mark, but that one's a bee. If you look very closely, you can see some slightly hairy, furry bits, and I think that's what picks up pollen and things like that. I'm not sure. It's quite hard to tell them apart, but that one's definitely a bee. That one's a tadpole. And I know that the scarab family have brought in frog spawn from which tadpoles develop to school on a couple of years in a row. So thank you for doing that. But those are tadpoles. And of course, they turn into frogs. That's a rabbit. That's the fluffy tail of a rabbit. It's the view from the rear. You can see the soles of its feet, and you can just see its ears at the front. That one's a rabbit. That creature is a camel. Okay, not particularly attractive, but very hardy animals, and they can live throughout water for a long, long time. That's a camel. That one's an elephant. That's the end of the trunk of an elephant, as I'm sure you worked out. And the final one, that's the spider. I'm not sure what sort of spider it is. Remember, spiders catch flies and things like that, so they do us all a favour. I suspect we don't get that sort of spider in this country, but that's the spider. Next section, close up. That's a lime. Okay, so a lime sliced in half. Wellington boots. If you've got welly boots, that's fine. Okay, so that's the sole, size 5, and the other one's standing upright. Welly boots. That one's a pencil. So I bet you use those in pre-prep quite regularly. So that's a pencil. This one's a toothbrush, which I hope you use every morning and every night before you go to bed to clean your teeth. You have to look after your teeth, you know. It's a toothbrush. And the final question in this section, that's spaghetti. So that's looking at the whole stack of spaghetti from underneath or from on top. So spaghetti. So come on to the final section now, things beginning with S. That one's a shark, a great white shark. You don't see those in our waters, so you won't see one of those off Hengistbury Head. So that's a shark. That one's the planet Saturn. So Saturn. That one's the sunflower. Remember, it's the sunflower challenge a week and a half ago. I still see no green shoots in mine, but I hope you have better luck in yours. And the final answer is stork. Now, traditionally, storks are supposed to deliver babies down the chimney. And that's a picture of a stork there. Okay, so add up your marks. It's out of 15. Tell me how you did on the classroom, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Okay, take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.